Hey everybody, welcome back to the wood shop. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Jackplane, or the number 5, and what the tool is supposed to be used for. It's a really fine tool. It's a little bit more technical because you got to adjust the blade depth so that you're not taking out too much wood or not taking out anything at all. So that requires fine adjustments. And I'm going to show you that hopefully with some close-up views that you can kind of get the sense as to how the tool gets you where you need to be. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of the parts here a little bit more in depth and show you first your knob up here and your tote here. You handle this tool with 2 hands. You got your cap iron here, which does all the cutting for you. And you got your chip breaker here, which has a very special purpose. As you go to cut across the wood, the fibers kind of pick up along the blade, right? And it wants to pull the blade down. So it's going to create this unnecessary friction. You use a chip breaker to help break up the chip as it cuts over it so that you don't have that pull down factor. That's what the chip breaker's for. Now the lever cap is what holds everything together. Now this works in tandem with the lever cap screw here. So if they're out of alignment or they're not interacting the way they're supposed to, you'll have a loose lever cap. And the problem with that is it's not holding the iron to a fixed position, and that can get out of position and you won't have fun cutting. So this lever cap and the cam work in tandem with the lever cap screw here, okay? The last part has to do with the bottom of this, or maybe not the last part, but the sole is down here and the blade sends, it comes through the throat here, or the gap here in the bottom, okay? Now there's no blade in here, so there's no risk, but when there's a blade in here, you don't want to put your fingers near this because there's a risk that you might get cut. Frog is where everything sits, so I want to go ahead and put this together. If I have my iron, and I put it on top just like this, I make sure that the chip breaker is about a 1/16 of an inch or less, 1/16 of an inch away from the tip of the iron, okay? Now what that allows is for the blade to still cut and the chip breaker to do its job. Good manufacturers make sure that the lever cap screws in the chip breaker knob. Now that goes ahead, gets dropped in there, and the important part that I mentioned in the first part is that the yoke has to come through the chip breaker slot here, okay? Because that is what interacts with the depth wheel here that sends the yoke up and down, which in turn sends the chip breaker and the iron up and down. So then I'm gonna go ahead and put this on top. Now if it doesn't go in and it's jammed up right here, turn the lever cap screw about half a turn counterclockwise. Then it should drop in. Now let's say, oh, I overdid it, and now the lever or the cam doesn't have any friction. So let's say that this thing just wiggles like that. That's no good either because it's not going to hold the iron down. So you might have to tighten that a little bit. You want enough friction for the cam to actually hold down the iron as you pass over the wood, okay? Now what I like to do is zero out the plane, test it on a piece of wood to make sure that it's not cutting, and then send it down a full turn past that point. And this is a good way to get started with this tool because you don't want to take out too much wood because it's going to kick it off the yoke and you're going to wonder why it's not working the way it does when I use it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you some proper use of this, okay? So after taking it apart, we got some things to cover. So all the parts get housed here on the frog. And the parts that get housed there have been taken off right here. You got your iron, which is the cutter part. You got your lever cap and your lever cam here. And then you got your chip breaker here, or cap iron is sometimes seen it referred to. You got your knob up here, you got your tote in the back here, you got your depth adjusting wheel here, you got your yoke right here, this little knob right here, which is really important, your lever cap screw, and for the most part, those are the parts I want to talk about here in this video. So just to review the parts and the actions one more time, your really important ones are your lever cap here, your lever cam, the chip breaker, and the iron. They all sit on top of the frog. So once it's on the yoke right here, that little part on the chip breaker, you go ahead and put this in. What's important is that you set the dial. So disengage the cam, and then go ahead and spin the dial, either counterclockwise or clockwise, depending on what you need. So I can go ahead and test this one, and we'll see how much wood it takes out. Ooh, did you hear that? Oh, that means I'm taking out too much wood. So what I want to do is actually lift up the cam, back it out, maybe a full turn, and then go ahead and re-engage the cam and see what that does. Oh, maybe too much, because now I'm not taking out any wood. So I go ahead and back it down maybe a half a turn. And at that point, it should be able to get the wood that I'm looking for off here in like a little feather to ribbon. Something that's not super thick, something that you can just crumple up with your fingers that feels nice and light. That's your goal, that's what you're looking for. Now after making a few of those cuts, what you can see here is that, oopsie, it's not quite at a 90 degree, is it? So that's something I gotta keep an eye on when I'm using the tool. I wanna make sure that I'm perpendicular to the face of the board. Now what I want to show you is in fact how you check your measure here. So when you look down this, do you see 90-degree corners? Now if you do, that is great job. You're doing a good job doing it. The other part is how far off of the line am I? Well, I still got some work to go. Okay, so I just got it out of the vise and I think it looks pretty good. I'm a little off my line here, but that's if I continue on, I'm going to do the rest of it. So with this one, to check it with the tool is with a combination square. Just some kind of square that actually gives you a right angle. That's what you want. So if you go ahead and put this up against the face here and bring it down, if you see any gaps, that's not square. All right? So you go ahead and look down and I see that I'm consistent, but I'm consistently wrong. I'm too high on one of these sides. So I got to take it back to the vise and plane down that high side. And it doesn't take much. I just hold it flat over it and I'll take off the rest of that and I'll get a true edge. The other part, and you can see that I'm a little off on my black line, but that's okay. If this is a mitered cut that's been squared, cut on some type of fence, and I go ahead and put my combination square up to it, I zoom in right here, and I can see that there's a little bit of light coming through there. Now, what does that tell me? It tells me that this is in a 90-degree angle. I'm high on one of these sides, aren't I? I'm high on this side. So I bring it down and I see, uh-oh, there's a gap. You see the gap? And that means I'm too high on this side. So I can go in like a tapered action where I take 1 inch off there, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inches, and then run it down all the way and I'll be a lot closer then. And I should be able to close that gap. That's the goal with using the plane, is that you want a true side at the end that's both square and flat. That's what you want after you're done with the plane. Woodworking is supposed to be a lot of fun, and I hope that it is. So using sharp tools is important, but using them appropriately or correctly is what makes all the joy in woodworking. So taking wood, taking it from a rough stage, and then planing it down to something smooth, something that's pleasant to feel over is what you're looking for in these operations. So keep at it. You're doing great. Keep up the good work in shop, okay?